Why, hello, and welcome to this very special webinar broadcast. I am so pleased that you decided to invest your time in today's training. On behalf of Rapid Crush, I want to welcome you and just let you know that this is a very straightforward webinar training, and it is in fact a training. You're going to learn a lot of immediately usable strategies and methods in today's training. Accordingly, you definitely want to get out a way to take lots of notes. I will also just say that part of what we're going to be doing today is going to be presenting like big picture kind of broad brushstrokes kind of information. But along with that, we're going to also be sharing nuances and subtleties and wrinkles in those sort of big pictures. And if you have been in business any length of time at all, you know that oftentimes that the success that you seek is in the subtleties. It's in the wrinkles. It's in the nuances, and those are all very easy to miss if you are not paying attention. So I would just go ahead and ask you now, for your sake, to turn off anything that might distract you, might take your attention away from today's presentation, because we don't want you to miss a detail that may make the difference between your success and failure. And with that, let's jump into today's training. Today, we're going to be covering how to basically siphon money off of Pinterest, okay? Today's training is called Pinterest Profits. Get your piece of the $11 billion annual share economy, cashing in on what John and I call peer-to-peer social tokens. A part of today's presentation, we are going to actually cover a somewhat controversial case study. I think we all learn best from case studies. And we're going to show you how we were able to drive 168,000 clicks to our website and counting. This continues to this very day with just one graphic on Pinterest. Okay, so that is what we're going to cover in today's presentation, a bit about who we are. First off, my name is Daniel Hall. I'm this guy over here. I'm a USA Today and Wall Street Journal bestselling author, speaker, publisher, nurse, attorney, and podcaster. I'm also the creator of the highly popular Real Fast brand of training products. However, I am not the star of the show. The true star of the show is this guy over here, my good friend and business partner, John Kremer, who is an expert on book publishing and marketing and in general, and in fact, is the author of the classic in the industry, 1,001 Ways to Market Your Books. And by the way, it's not just me that says great things about John Kremer. Paragons in our industry, folks like Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield, say, hey, if you want to sell 600 million books like we have, read and use John's book. And even the late, great Stephen Covey said John Kremer was instrumental to our success in making The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People one of the 2 most influential business books of the 20th century. And I know some of you are saying, well, that's all well and good for John Kremer. What the heck does this have to do with me? The only reason why I start off the presentation in this way is because I want you to realize the level of marketing acumen headed down the tracks at you right now. So once again, I'm just telling you, I'm warning you, kind of trying to get you mentally prepared to intake this information that we're about to lay on you. Okay. So with that, one of the things that I also want to let you know is hopefully you understand that we are here live with you and we're going to have a conversation back and forth. And I'm going to be asking you lots of questions. And when I ask you a question, I'd really kindly ask you to answer the question. So the first question I have for you here is, what are you selling? Is it a book? Is it a physical product? Are you an affiliate marketer? Do you have an Amazon, Etsy, or eBay store or listing somewhere? Let me know in the chat, number one, what you are selling, and also include a link to that offer in the chat as well. And the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because a little later on in today's workshop, I'm actually going to build a Pinterest funnel for one of you, okay? Whoever submits their link in the chat, one of our team members are going to pick one of you and we're going to build something live before your very eyes. And the idea, of course, here is that while one of you win, everyone wins, because I do it slow enough so that you can emulate what I am doing, right? So you can do it for your own product or service. All right. So if you want to get that, by the way, that's a $450 value. Go ahead and get the link into the chat right now. Okay. Thank you for that. I see all of those pouring in right now. Excellent. And let me just see here what we have got cooking and what do we have here? We have got, wow, lots of folks here. All right. I'm just seeing nice, lots of books. We've got lots of great other offers here. Beyondretirement.ca, great. Pet supplements, Amazon, Shopify, affiliate offers. Right. Once again, if you want to be in the running, I also need a link, because we're gonna actually build a link back to your site. That's why I'm asking for the link. So great. So now I am getting a much better idea what you all are selling. This is great stuff. Memory Wellness Academy, like that. Let's see. Physical products on Amazon. Great. All right. So let me just ask you here. How are your sales going? Okay. That's another pretty crucial question at this point of the presentation. Put a 1 in the chat if your sales certainly could be better. Maybe you haven't even made your first sale yet, or maybe they've had just a small trickle of sales. Put a 2 in the chat if you're seeing sales, but you would definitely like to increase them. And certainly put a 3 in the chat if you're just doing very, very well and you're happy with the level of sales and you don't think you need any more help. Just put a 1, 2, or a 3 into the chat right now. I'd really appreciate that. Awesome. We got lots of 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Wow, lots of ones. Great. For those of you that answered 1 or 2 here, you are definitely in the right place. I will say that. I don't see any 3s, which is not at all unusual. So, okay, great. Thank you so much for that. So here's the deal. If you and I were able to sit across the table from one another, maybe at Starbucks having a coffee, and talking about your business, trying to figure out how to build your business so it made more money with less effort, I think that you and I would probably agree that you have a fundamental problem. And that problem is not enough people are seeing your offers. Said a slightly different way, not enough people know that you exist, know that you have a solution in the marketplace, okay? And obviously, if they don't know that you exist, how in the world can they buy from you, right? But let me ask you this question, and I would very much like for you to go to the questions box to answer this. What if you had automatic demand and instant momentum for your offers? Do you think that that would help you? If you had automatic demand and instant momentum, do you think that would help you? And of course, yes, of course. Thank you so much. Keep those coming. Yeah, I mean, I realize that the question begs the answer, but the great news here is that in today's training, we're going to cover a solution in harnessing the share economy, Now, before I go any further, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with what I mean when I say share economy. These are companies, share economy type of companies, that are characterized by peer-to-peer help and service. So when we think of a share economy type of company, we think of companies like Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, TaskRabbit, and others. So let me just ask you now, if you go to your questions box and answer this question, have you either used one of these services or know of a friend or family member who has, or do you basically get the idea of how like an Uber works, right? Just let me know in the chat right now. That would certainly be helpful. And I don't want to belabor this. It looks like most of you have, okay, great. Yes. Yeah. It looks like we all have the idea here. Great. So I'm not going to I think we all start with the same foundation, because here is what I want to do. I want to apply the lens of a share economy company, but to a social media platform, okay? And the first time John and I did this, we thought that all social platforms basically participated in the share economy, okay? However, we didn't have to dig too far to figure out that that wasn't the case at all. As a matter of fact, when you look at the 800-pound gorilla, that is Facebook and Instagram, in order to get any significant exposure to this, or on Facebook or Instagram, what? You have to pay to play, right? I'm sure you've already experienced. You probably have a Facebook account and then have friends. When you put a post up on Facebook, not even all of your friends see it. Only a very, very small portion of your friends even see it. That's because on Facebook and Instagram, you and I, we are the product. Our eyeballs, our attention, that is what they sell to other advertisers, okay? But it doesn't seem much like a share economy company to me. But I know some of you are saying, well, what about Twitter? Twitter definitely has something called the retweet. That's sharing, right? Yes. You could definitely retweet or RT, but a couple big problems with Twitter is that the half-life of a tweet is only 24 minutes, and it's only to your followers. In other words, half the people that will ever see your tweet will see it in the first 24 minutes, and then it very quickly falls off thereafter. So for the most part, unless you want to build a huge audience on Twitter, number one, and number two, you're willing to take the time to constantly engage with them, for the most part, for most marketers, Twitter is not worth the time, okay? It's not worth sharing. Unless, once again, you want to pay to play. Then yes, you can definitely pony up cash and, send your tweet out further and wider to a bigger audience. Now, what about LinkedIn, the fourth big social platform? Well, yes, once again, you could definitely share content on LinkedIn, but most of it's shared within professional groups and only with connections. And here, once again, in order to get the type of syndication and distribution of your post on LinkedIn, you've got to pony up cash, pay to play. So that's the same deal with all of these big social platforms. Now let's turn our attention to Pinterest here, because as John and I found out, Pinterest is the only one share economy platform of the social media groups. And here is part of the reason why. Because any post that you make on Pinterest can be seen by all Pinterest users. In other words, unlike Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and so forth, and Facebook, you can't see those folks that are actually a part of that, right? Who are not following you. But on Pinterest, if they don't have to follow you to see your stuff, right? Also, all Pinterest users and whatever you're putting up on Pinterest can easily be found even years later, okay? That's because Pinterest is archival in nature. And what I mean by this is that it's like YouTube. So let's say you started on YouTube back in 2009 and you put your first video back up then. That video, as long as you made it public, is still searchable and findable by anyone who uses YouTube. They don't have to subscribe to you, etc. That's because YouTube is archival. The same with Pinterest, okay? So you can put something up on Pinterest. Anyone that uses Pinterest, they don't have to follow or even know you exist, can find your content and potentially engage with it, okay, even years later. Now, when you add these two characteristics with the whole backbone and culture of Pinterest and its whole culture of sharing, or what Pinterest calls repinning, you start to get an inkling of how powerful Pinterest can be from a marketing standpoint. So I've given you sort of a thumbnail of Pinterest. Let me know from you in the chat. Do you currently have a Pinterest profile? Are you on Pinterest right now? I'd love to know. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. No, 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 you no, no, no. Okay, wow. Okay. Take a sip of water here. Okay. Great. Well, for those people that say no, and there's a significant number of you, that's going to change today. I could guarantee you. You're definitely going to want to do this. It's free to get a business account after all. But here's what I really want you to understand about Pinterest. Pinterest is like an online bulletin board. Okay. Now I'm sure you've had a cork board, right? With thumbtacks that you put up notes and pictures. Well, that's essentially what Pinterest is, but it's digital. So it's all online. So it's about collecting visual pieces of multimedia, mostly static images. Okay. Mostly static images. So you can put up things like cinemagraphs and YouTube videos and animated GIFs and the like, but it's mostly for putting up things like JPEG images and so forth. Okay. Now, here's the other thing I want you to really understand. People on Pinterest use it to discover and save ideas. Now, what I'm about to say is a writer downer. You need to highlight it in your notes. Okay. Because while Pinterest does have a social media component to it, it is first and foremost a search engine. Okay. So write that down and understand that, because that plays into so much more of what we have to actually say a little later on. Okay. And so what people will do on Pinterest is they will, again, using it as a search engine, they'll go over to Pinterest and type in whatever they're into, right? And then they'll discover new ideas. Like I recently remodeled our master bathroom. And one of my first stops was Pinterest. I went over to master bathroom, ideas. I think it was the search term I used. And I just returned page after page after page of these gorgeous bathrooms. And I did, in fact, actually order several things from what I found in that particular search that went into our bathroom, you see? So that's how people are using it. And by the way, these ideas can take any form under the sun, from recipes to DIY projects, to fashion, to business, to internet marketing, to affiliate marketing, to any topic that you could possibly think of. There's a group of people into it on Pinterest. Now, the cool thing about this is that every single one of these ideas is represented by a pin that includes an image. As a matter of fact, when I say image for the rest of today's presentation, I want you to think pin. And when I say pin, I want you to think image. Okay, so every pin must include an image of some kind. But in addition to that, it can have a description and, importantly, a link back to that image's source online. Now, that's so important that I've underlined it here in red for you, because it's really what makes Pinterest work from a marketing standpoint, such that when people click on a pin, okay, so you could actually embed a URL in your pins. So people click on your image, they can go off to your offer, okay, and find out more about that idea, maybe buy it, maybe get on your email list, maybe buy your book, maybe buy your product on Amazon, whatever it is that you're doing, okay, and they could potentially act on that, okay? In other words, this is a way of generating free, targeted traffic, all right? That's what we're going to get into right now. And what I want to do next is I actually want to walk you through here some of how most people will pin and repin. Most people pin and repin here. And hopefully you can see this page right here. Do you see where it says real fast results? Can you all just let me hear from you? So the thing that I want to make sure of here is the first order of business is I want you to just notice where it says real fast results, real fast results. If you just look at that and understand that this, because it is a business account, I can name my profile. That is, you can name your profile anything you want. So I have the realfastresults.com podcast. And with that, I want to promote the realfastresults.com podcast. So I didn't name this Daniel Hall. I just named it Real Fast Results. Okay. the point that I want you to understand is if you're into, like, say you're a coach, or you're Jason Fladlin. You could say Jason Fladlin, millionaire maker. You could actually name your profile that if you wish. And it could be your product, it could be your service, it could be whatever you want. So that's the first order of business I want to just cover with you here. The second relates to this picture. And this I'm going to send out to all the males of the species. And the thing about this is, if you are a male, what I want you to understand is that you should have a picture of you and a female, okay? You and a female, because the vast majority of active users on Pinterest are, in fact, female, which, by the way, is great news because because in our society and in our culture, the females make most of the buying decisions. And if they're not making the buying decisions, they're heavily influencing those decisions. So it's been reported that if you have a picture of a sort of a creepy looking guy looking back here, that they'll hit this page, a profile page like this. And if if they see this creep looking back at them, they bolt, right? They're gone. Well, we don't want that, obviously. So if you are male, have a picture of you and a female. I don't care if it's your spouse, your lover, your aunt, your mother, your daughter, a stranger, don't care. You and a female. And if you are female, you're good to go. Just use your regular picture. You're ready. You're rocking already. Okay. So I wanted to make sure we understood those two very important things. So let me go back here, and I'm going to use Pinterest like most people do, like a search engine. So I'm going to come back over here, and I've been looking to buy this car right here. So I'm into fast cars. I love this car, this Porsche from my youth. And one of these days I'm going to buy one, probably already restored. Anyway, I've got a board. So on Pinterest, you could start a board on any subject under the sun. Okay. So I've got a board called My Dream Cars. So what I want you to notice, when I sort of mouse over each one of these pictures, is that it actually prompts me. Do you see this? It prompts me to save this, to share it, okay, on My Dream Cars. It even picks the probable board that I would like to save it on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to look and see one of these that, let's see, we're going to put one. This is kind of a cool one. We're going to put it on this one here. And I'm going to look on My Dream Cars board. Okay, so here is the image that I just put up right here. And here's the cool thing. Remember what I just said, that you can embed a link behind the image. So what happens when I click this link? Well, in my opinion, magic happens, right? It actually takes us off to looks like the Road and Track blog. The point that I want you to understand is that this could have taken me off to just about anywhere. Okay, there are a few caveats, but it could take you to your own blog, to your own podcast website, to your own Amazon listing, to your own YouTube channel, to your own opt-in offer, to your own sales page, anywhere you would have want to sent them. Okay, all right. So that's very cool. And that's what's called the repin. What I just did there to put this on My Dream Cars is called the repin. Okay, the repin. Now, the other thing I wanted to do here, I wanted to just show you how to pin from the beginning. So let me take you over here to my my blog site called Real Fast Results. And I recently put up this particular blog post and a YouTube video. So what I want to do is I want to drive traffic to my YouTube channel. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do here. But the thing that I just want to point out is that this is my blog site, and it's a money site. I make money from this site because I'm primarily an email marketer. So there are lots of ways to get on a list. You can get on my push notification list up here. There are ways to subscribe to the channel here. Lots of ways here to actually make money. And the other cool thing that I did is I created, along with this video tutorial called outlining a nonfiction book, is I created this graphic that you see here. Nonfiction outlines fast the steps. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to actually pin this over on Pinterest. And this is another one of them. And we're going to actually hit share. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pin this to my board called, actually, let's talk a little bit about these little guys right here. Do you see right under where I have the little save button? Save. There's like a two-person icon. That's like a group, but basically a group board. So I belong to many group boards. That's where a lot of people who have the same sort of interest can get on, and they have pinning privileges. In other words, they can pin their own stuff to the board as well. So I belong to a bunch of these, and I'm going to save this right here to Author Smarts. All right, so I'm going to actually add this to Author Smarts Speaking Cells, and we're going to put that here, and we're going to actually see it now. And there it is. Okay, so hopefully you now see that. That is the repin. And here's what's so cool about this. Remember what I said, that you could embed a link. I'm going to teach you a little later on how to embed the link here. And we're just going to actually click on that. And what happens? It actually takes us back to our blog post. In other words, what I want you to understand about all this is that this literal empires have been built by Google, by Facebook, and others that essentially mean that you're getting a free targeted click to wherever you want to send people. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. And let me go back here to my my pins and repins. So now you should see how most people pin and repin. And here's the thing that I want you to understand. Is that Pinterest is the only platform that encourages users to organize boards dedicated to niches that people are actually interested in. And the other thing you probably already noticed is that it's visually stimulating and fun to browse. It makes it easy to add a clickable link anywhere you want. By the way, I'm going to show you how and where to do that a little later on. And it actively encourages users to share pins and repins. Links to your offers also get shared, but pins get shared and reshared and reshared over and over again. Okay, that's the beautiful thing about this, is that as time goes by, that pin, that image that you put out into the onto the Pinterest community, that could last for years, and every time it gets reshared, the link goes with it. Okay, this is how you can literally generate clicks for years to come. So if you're not looking at your computer screen now, come check this out, because this image, I think, does a great job of explaining how the exponential sharing on Pinterest can go. So here that you see this, say you're one of our students and you know how to put out a great quality pin. And these people here, they're also into your topic, into your niche. They like the content that you put out about your topic and niche in pin form, and they reshare your pin, and on it goes, such that all of the people get clicks back to you, and you get more eyeballs on your offers. And of course, you can make a lot more money this way, all on autopilot. Okay, that's the beauty of it. And of course, this all makes sense when you understand that the average pin on Pinterest is repinned 11 times. Okay. Now, so think about that for just a second. You know, you don't have to know anything. You just have to be average, and your pin is going to get, on average, repinned 11 times. But when you really truly understand what's going on and how to facilitate more repins, then you start to really understand why and how you can actually create big time outliers. And that's what John and I are in the business of doing. And it started with this very first pin. And actually, I want to bring John on here now to kind of walk you through how this kind of set us up and launched us as Pinterest marketers. So, John, can you kind of walk folks through here the Bob Harper Skinny Rules graphic?
Yes, the first time I really understood the power of Pinterest to drive traffic was a few months after I started using Pinterest, and I saw this Skinny Rules black and white graphic show up in my timeline, and I said, oh, that's interesting. Bob Harper at the time was a host on The Biggest Loser on NBC. He wrote a book about how to get skinny, and he called it The Skinny Rules. And I said, wow, those are good. I agree with most of them. So I said, well, let's make it a little bit prettier. So I put a pink border around it. I blogged about it. I pinned it. And then the next month, I got over 50,000 repins and tons of traffic to my website. And so I said, wow, if that's what's happening, what if I make it actually look decent, look a lot better? So I created a tall, thin graphic using the colors from the book cover. And it's this graphic that drove over 1.4 million people to my website, and total repins, and over 168,000 people to my website. And that's really where the magic is, because of course you want traffic, you want people coming to your website. So they came to my website, they read about Bob Harper's book, and then they were able to click through to buy the book on Amazon. So this is affiliate marketing, two-step process. You send them to your website first, you pre-sell them, and then you send them on to your affiliate link so that you can capture email addresses at the same time as you're driving traffic to an affiliate website or to a product that you already have on your own website. Now, Daniel talked to you about how long a pin lasts. A typical tweet in one study had a half-life of 24 minutes. That means that half the people that would ever see the tweet would see it in the first 24 minutes, or they'd never see it. The half-life of a Facebook post is 90 minutes. Again, first 90 minutes, half the people will see it or they'll never see it. The half-life of a Pinterest pin is 3.5 months. That's 2,000 times more opportunity for people to see your pin than a Facebook post, and over 6,000 times more. Sorry, I hit a key somehow. Okay. So 6,000 times more than a tweet. The interesting thing is that Pinterest did a study recently, and they found out that the half-life of a Pinterest pin in today's world is 6 months. So it gives you even more opportunity for people to see your pin. The neat thing is that a pin can last forever, and we'll show you that in a few minutes. The neat thing also is that Pinterest pins convert to eyeballs. In my experience, anywhere from 2% to 25% will click through to your website. They're ready and willing to visit your sales pages, and that's really where the magic happens in Pinterest. Now, I wanted to show you some of the results that I had. These are 4 what I call typographics that I pinned, and in the first 2 years, I got over 6,000 visits, over 32,000 visits, over 38,000 visits, over 7,800 visits from these 4 graphics. The neat thing is what happened during the next 3 years. In other words, these pins lasted for over 5 years. 13,000 more visits, almost 25,000 more visits, almost 22,000 more visits, almost 7,000 more visits, 66,726 visits in the next 3 years with just these 4 pins, which had already been pinned 2 years previously. And they were still driving traffic for the next 3 years. So I got traffic for over 5 years from these 4 pins, and I'm still getting traffic from them. And I didn't do any additional work. I'd already done the pinning. So that's really the magic of Pinterest, is how it can drive traffic year after year. Now I want to show you how quickly it can happen. This is a quote graphic that I created about prayer and the power of prayer. And within the first 10 hours, 15 people repinned it. But the neat thing is, those are people that were following me. But the neat thing is that 266 other people also pinned it. They had to have discovered it from somebody else who had pinned it. And that's what can happen. It's the power of the repin that drives other repins, that really multiplies the effect of traffic that you can get and the sharing that can happen on Pinterest in a very, very powerful way. Sarah Hathaway, one of our students, said, my Pinterest and Twitter followers have exploded since I started this program, as well as my blog and website hits. So it can work for anyone. It's not just a thing that only a few magical internet marketers can create traffic. Anybody can. This is the power of the Pinterest share economy. It's a peer-to-peer social media platform, and that's why people trust pins versus the search engines, like Google, which use a very odd, algorithm that nobody really understands, even possibly Google. But in Pinterest, people trust what you share on Pinterest because it's one person sharing something they found useful with the other people. And that's really the magic, again, of Pinterest. Now, if you want to find the keys to a woman's soul, follow her on Pinterest, because she will create boards for every one of her passions. Everything that she's passionately interested in, she will have created a board for. And I talk about the 6 F's of Pinterest. In my experience, these are some of the more popular things: fitness, health, diet, anything with food and recipes and nutrition, anything with fashion and beauty, anything with family, parenting, kids, anything funny like other social networks, and anything with cute dogs and cats and other animals. Those seem to really inspire a lot of traffic. Plus inspiration, motivation, design, home decor, crafts, hobbies, beautiful homes, travel, and more. 80% of the active users on Pinterest are women, but the 20% that are men account for over 40 million people. 40 million men who are interested in other things like technology and hunting and fishing and travel and so on. So the question is, how do you make money through Pinterest? Users browse their interests on Pinterest to discover new things. They're always looking for things that they can act on. Pinterest users are doers. They want to actually act on things. They want to find things that will make their life easier, better, and so on. Sometimes they will repin those images to one of their boards to look at later, but most of the time they will actually click on the images without necessarily saving them to find out more. And they'll go and try to find out more about the product or resources they're interested in, and then they buy. And Daniel, I wanted to bring you back on because you have this great story that I helped convince you how powerful Pinterest is.
It's kind of funny, actually, because John had been telling me, hey, you need to look at this, and kind of trying to get my attention on this when I went out to lunch with a colleague of mine, and we were eating lunch, and actually it was at a pizza restaurant, and we'd finished up, and she had kind of got up from the table to go wait for me, and I got up from the table and went back to wash my hands. And when I came out the restroom, she was sitting in front of this restaurant, sitting on this bench, sort of doing what people do when they wait. I went and sat down next to her and sort of looked over her shoulder because she had her phone in her hand and she was sort of thumbing through things. And I'm like, what are you doing? She says, well, I'm on Pinterest. And then she gets all excited because she says, I've been looking for this, and it happened to be a bracelet. Been looking for this bracelet for so long. Finally, I found it. And when I get home, I'm actually going to go buy it. I don't feel like taking my credit card out here in public, and I'm like, oh, this is how people are actually using Pinterest. And when you stop to realize what the actual stats are in the studies, there are actually a lot of buyers on Pinterest. Isn't that right, John?
I had to unmute myself. Yes, it's right. What we do know is that Shopify, one of the main suppliers of e-commerce stores on the internet, they did a study and they found that the average order value of sales coming from Pinterest is $50, and that's higher than any other major social platform. And Pinterest is the #2 overall source of social media traffic to Shopify e-commerce stores. #1 at this time was Facebook ads. 2 million people pin product pins every day. 93% of Pinterest users use the platform to plan what they're going to buy. 87% have actually bought something online after browsing pins. That's really the magic of what Pinterest can do. Pinterest is really a shopping platform in many ways. People are creating shopping lists, wish lists, bucket lists, things they want to do, things they want to act on, things they want to buy. Now, in my experience, the two most effective pins for driving traffic are quote graphics, inspirational, funny, and motivational quotes related to your product or service, and typographics. 5 to 20 tips in a tall, thin graphic that also feature maybe a product shot, book cover, a person doing something, things like that. Think of the viral shape of a Pinterest graphic as being about like a bookmark, 1,000 pixels by 1,500 pixels. This is the recommended size right now for Pinterest, which has just changed the recommended size in the last couple of weeks. So the new recommended size is 1,000 by 1,500 pixels. So we're going to incorporate that into the course we have. But the characteristics are tall and thin, condensed content from your book, great tips on how to use your product or service, or if you're writing a blog post, some tips from your blog post that you then create a graphic for to include with the blog post, or a sales article. Use colors found on the cover of the product, or book cover of the product, a picture of the book cover or product or people, again, in doing something related to it. And then you can link to Amazon, but we actually recommend that you do a two-step process if you're an affiliate. You first send them to an email capture page or sales page on your website so you can capture their email and create a customer and then send them on to your affiliate link. That way, no matter how Pinterest or any other social media change, you will always control that link, because any social media does not usually block links, and Pinterest never has to a web page. They have sometimes in the past blocked affiliate links, and so you want to control that. So do a two-step process. Send them to your website where you can capture their email and then send them on to your affiliate link.
Or alternatively, you set up a pretty link so that you could change out if they do. You could change the underlying link, if they do change their policy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't actually recommend that, because even
would not recommend it. No,
a pretty link is like all the other shortened links, and I just don't trust any social media to change that policy. So I like to send it to a directly long link to my website. I can always change the content on that link, so Absolutely. I control it still.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to show you that this is still happening. It's not something that was 5 years ago or something like that. Somebody asked about that. The thing is that this Pixar 22 Rules of Storytelling from a Pixar creator, and I posted that, and within the first 48 hours, I got over 1,100 repins, and within the week got over 5,000 repins from that one graphic. So you can still create powerful graphics. Now, when we're talking about typographics, we're not talking about these complicated infographics on the left, these 4 different graphics. They're pretty, but they're bad news for social media marketing for two reasons. One is they take too long to create. These probably took anywhere from 2 hours to 2 days to create. 18 things high achievers do. I created that in about 15 minutes, blogged about it, and boom, it was sending traffic to me just like that. The other thing is that they're not consumable on a smartphone in an easy way. And 80% of social media traffic, including Pinterest, is on smartphones. And if you try to, read any of these four on the left, you can't read them. They're impossible to read on a smartphone without magnifying them and then scrolling back and forth and up and down. And people on smartphones don't have that kind of patience. 18 things high achievers do is consumable on a smartphone. They can read the first 6 or 7 points, and if they like that, they can continue scrolling, or they're more likely to click through to a mobile-friendly website. And I encourage you to have a mobile-friendly website. Now, the other kind of graphics that we talked about are quote graphics. These are quotes that are presented in a graphic format. So Coincidence is God's Way of Remaining Anonymous got over 30,000 repins. Take Time to Do What Makes You So Happy, over 212,000 repins. Nobody cares about your excuses. It's your ass. You move it, over 2,500 repins. Note how having a pretty graphic, with some nice image in the background, actually encourages more repins and therefore more traffic to your website. So I always encourage people to do pretty graphic quote graphics rather than the all type one. Now, here, a really neat thing that happened a couple years ago with Pinterest. They started emailing to their users, giving them ideas based on their pinning of other pins they might like. And this was an email that was sent to my wife showcasing one of my pins. Nothing makes me happier than to see other people in their purest moments of joy, from Oprah Winfrey. Now, that neat thing about that is that them promoting it got an incredible amount of traffic to that pin. And it also sent a lot of traffic to my money website at bookmarketingbestsellers.com. So it really is magical. And the neat thing is Pinterest is doing that. They're encouraging people to look at new pins that they know from their past pinning experience they would actually be interested in. They also promote boards and people and topics that people might be interested in. So, Facebook doesn't do that. They want you to buy ads. But Pinterest encourages people to come back to Pinterest to see the content. Now, I wanted to show you one other kind of typographic that I call a pictographic. It's basically multiple images in a tall, thin graphic. This is very effective for high-priced kinds of products. This short, squat, one image of a car, it's a beautiful image, but it doesn't get much real estate on Pinterest because it's short and squat, and Pinterest favors tall and thin. Now, this multiple shots gives people a look at the car from multiple angles. They're much more likely to click through to find out more about that car because they've had more opportunity to see the car. Then put it in action on a road and you'll get even more traffic. And that's really the magic again. You want that traffic, whether you're selling the car or you're selling something related to cars. Again, multiple product shots work really effective for high-priced products, smartphones, solar chargers, smart watches, things like that. It works really effectively, high fashion, things like that. Rather than shooting just one woman, wearing a dress, multiple shots of her front and back will work much more effectively, encouraging people to buy that kind of item, jewelry, things like that. So higher priced items, very effective. Now, here's a graphic, black and white, focused on the product name. That doesn't really work well. If you want to sell something, you ask people a question: how will you use your new Weber Smoky Joe grill? And then you show them the wonderful, yummy foods you can make, and people are going to click through then. Color really stands out, and it really works well on Pinterest, but also showing what you can do with the product really makes a difference. So Daniel, I wanted to bring you back on because you got a great question to ask people.
Indeed, I do. So we're kind of just getting rolling with today's training, but based on what you have learned so far, I want to ask you this question: when do you think you should start using Pinterest? Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's better to sell when you already have a group to sell to. In other words, you have an offer and you're going to wait until you have an offer before you start selling. Or put a 2 in the chat if you think it's better to create your offer and then look for your audience. So 1 or 2 in the chat right now. I'm just curious. There's no wrong answer here. This is not a trick question. Just curious as to where you are with this. Okay, 1 2 2 2 1 1 1. All right. Yeah, keep them coming. 1 and 2. You got that right. Who said that? Iona? Somebody actually. No, I'm sorry. It was Bayard. Big G. Okay. So here's the deal. If you already have an offer, many of you do. I've been looking through your submissions here. Then for those of you that already have an offer, you should have started using Pinterest yesterday. Okay. And since you can't start yesterday, the latest you should start is today. All right. Because you can, in fact, already plug into a group of people who are passionate about whatever it is that you're into. Okay. So that's a very, very cool thing. Now, if on the other hand, you don't yet have an offer, you too should start today, because with Pinterest, you could build an audience so that once you have an offer that comes to market, you have an audience to sell to, number one. And the second big reason why you should start on Pinterest today is because when you understand that you could use Pinterest as a market research tool, then it's really, really helpful, because guess what? I bet you dollars to donuts that you can come up with any number of pins in your niche, probably thousands, probably tens of thousands of pins related to very specific and nuanced portions of your niche or your subject matter, whatever it is that you're selling it. Okay. The cool thing is that when you're creating these pins, you could start to see what resonates with the group of people that are into that. And you know that people are liking it, are interested in that particular line of content, because they start sharing it more. They start clicking on it more. Okay. So the lesson here is wherever you are in the process, you should start using Pinterest today. Okay. Today. All right. Now here's the other thing. We teach many ways to make money on Pinterest. And in fact, what we're going to do today is we're actually going to build a Pinterest funnel for one of you. So I really want you to pay very, very close attention to what I'm about to do, because essentially I'm going to show you here how to set up multiple passive income streams. Okay. All right. So pay very close attention to what I'm about to do here. So let me make sure, and I want to bring this, and John, if you could just let me know, or you all let me know, this is who I chose here, Outdoor Glam Life. If you are Outdoor Glam Life, if this is your site, let me hear from you, and let me hear that it's okay to use you. I assume so, since you put the link in here. And John, can you see where it says Outdoor Glam Life or not?
I can.
You can?
I can. Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to actually show you here that we're actually going to build a great little profile. And I really like this one, Picnic Basket for Two. And looks like there's a couple different versions of it. Great. Okay, so I am going to actually, let's look at some of these. There we go. Excellent. I'm actually going to use that picture, I think. All right. So what I'm going to do is, this is a really cool set. I'm going to build a funnel for the Somerset Deluxe Picnic Basket that you see here. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to go over here to one of my favorite sites, canva.com, to actually build one of these pins. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to custom sizes. By the way, Canva is free. You can certainly go over and get a free account and then do exactly what I'm about to show you here. So I just started I went here and then I hit, this was in my recents, but if you're just going to kind of come over here, you're going to put in the width 1,000 and height 1,500. Okay. That's going to bring you over to this bad boy that you see here. Okay. Now, we're going to make a quote graphic here today. So I was just kind of thinking that we would do I'm going to say picnic quotes. And great. And let's see, we've got some picnic quotes under Brainy Quote. This is one of my favorite sites, by the way, to get quotes anyway, and that is Brainy Quote. And let's see if we could find a quote here that we could use for the sale of that basket. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. This is kind of a funny one, like that. Let's see. If the rain spoils our picnic, but saves a farmer's crop, who are we to say it shouldn't rain? Okay, kissing a man with a beard is a lot like going to picket. That's funny. Let's see. I'm into all that sappy stuff. A surprise picnic, nice dinner, or traveling. Kind of an old romantic. We like to take picnics and sandwiches, driving through green lanes. My wife loves the house, the dogs, the animals all around us there. And that's not too good. I love this one. This is I think is going to say what we want it to say. Or actually Zooey Deschanel, I'm a big fan of hers, but I like this one better, I think. So let me go ahead and grab this. I'm just going to go ahead and highlight it, copy it, and then we're going to come back over to Canva here. I'm going to go to text. I'm going to click add heading, and then I'm going to click Control V, and that puts the text into our graphic here that we're designing. And let's actually make this a little bit different here. And that's a pretty big font. So I'm going to probably take this font down to maybe a 50. Let's see if we can get away with that. And I'm just going to click in here. I'm going to hit Control A, and then I'm just going to put 50. Not 40, 50. There we go. All right. Awesome. So here is our nice quote. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go get us a nice picture, because as John said, especially with quote graphics, some pictures tend to do better under below the image. So let's go ahead and grab that. So I'm going to go over here to Pixabay.com. Pixabay, I love this site, and if you've never heard of it before, all I could say is you're welcome, because you can get any type of great image here for pretty much for free, and you could use it commercially. And that's because everything is in the public domain, right? That's the really cool part of this. All these images are put directly into the public domain, and when I'm looking here for an image, I'm looking for an image that is a pattern interrupt to me. I'm just sort of looking sort of with my lizard brain to see if anything just kind of jumps out at me, that anything kind of pops out at me. And actually, that one's pretty cool. This one here, I actually kind of like that one. I'm going to grab that. And we're going to pull this down. And we're going to actually put this here on our desktop, picnic. And there it comes. All right. So the next thing, so I just pulled that image down. Now I'm going to actually upload this. Let me go to my uploads right here on this tab. And then there it is. It's uploading right now. So we're going to do that. And here's our image ready to go. Awesome. So I'm going to bring this over back here. And we're going to move this down. And that's looking good. That's looking real good. All right. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to come back over to our image here. And I'm going to grab it. I'm going to use Snippet here, or the snipping tool that I have on my PC. If you're on a Mac, there's a functionality for this on a Mac. Just let me know what it is in the chat. I always forget what it is, but we're going to go ahead and grab that, and we're going to save it, and we're going to put picnic basket, right? And we're going to save that. There we go. And now we're going to
Daniel, it's called Screenshot or Command Shift 4 on Mac.
Thank you so much. So there you go. So we're going to go back over to our uploads and upload media, and then device. And then here we're going to go to our desktop, and we're going to go look for that picnic basket. There we go. And it just got uploaded. Great. And we're going to put that down here as well. Okay. Now, let's actually, I'm going to actually step this down to a 40 font size. Something like this, maybe, because I want to make our picnic basket a little larger. And there we go. Move that over a little bit. And now the next thing I want to do is, you may have noticed that down here, I actually kept this bottom area open for a couple of reasons. I usually will put a call to action or branding. For this, I'm going to use branding to send people over to Outdoor Glam Life. I think that's the name of the site. Yep, Outdoor Glam Life. So we're going to pull that up, and that's the other cool thing that you could do with this within Canva is then you could actually crop it even a bit more directly within Canva. Make this a little less. Just all we want is that. There we go. Now we can have more room. Make it a little bit larger, like that. Okay, great. So the next thing I want to do is, I'm going to make it a little bit more attractive, because what I'm going to do is kind of come down here, and I'm going to actually duplicate this and move it down here. And let's go grab this URL, copy, and come back over here. And I'm going to paste it right here. And we're going to pull that down here. And we're going to grab and just take all this kind of stuff out, because some folks that are just seeing this, because remember, this might get shared offline as well. You want to make it easy for people to actually read in case it's not clickable. So there we go. We're going to do the little alligator thing, and we got that cooking there. And we're going to pull this down a little bit. Great. All right. Now, the other thing I want to dress this up a little bit more. And one thing that we could do here is I could pull this bad boy into our area like this. And I think I want to have a little bit more green here. So let's see if I can pick. This is the cool thing that you can just use. You see how the Canva program itself picked up some of the colors of the image, and it laid them all out here in a nice palette for you. So I'm just going to choose that one, I think. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty nice. And then I'm going to actually do that same thing here at the bottom and bring that down here to the bottom, and we'll give it more of a finished look. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to position both of these and send them backwards like this so that they're not covering our text. Position and then backwards. There we go. And there you go. I think this is actually starting to come together quite nicely. So I'm actually going to pull this down a skosh more. One other thing that I'm going to do, by the way, to me, there's a little bit too much room between the lines here. So if I come up here to where it says spacing, click that, I could adjust my line spacing. And I usually like to set this at 1.15 is generally where I like it. So there we go. That's probably a little too crunched for me. Actually, it's not too crunched if I do this. And no, that's not going to work either. So let's go back up here and go to a 1 point, maybe 3. There we go. There we go. So I am going to call this completed. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come over to where it says file and then save. And then I'm going to come over here to where it says download. And I'm going to download this. Now, it's going to put this together for us. And the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to name this a buyer keyword. Can anyone tell me why I would name this image a buyer keyword? Let me know in the chat. Why would I do that? So we're going to do picnics. Why would I name this a buyer keyword? Any guesses on that? Dining. Okay. Let's do wine and cheese. Okay. Yes, you got it. I made a big deal about earlier saying that that this is first and foremost a search engine. So we want to basically help Pinterest find the image. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is come over here, go back over to Pinterest. And we're going to come over here to create pin. And it's actually right over here. I'm just going to drag it from my taskbar down here up into our area there. Great. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come back over to grab some copy out of the website itself. So we're going to grab this, copy it, and then we're going to put that over here. And then I'm going to grab some more copy down here. And let's see if we can get all of this included. Copy. And we're going to put that down here as well. And now the other cool thing that we could do is we could add some hashtags down here. So I'm going to actually do that. Picnic, again, for search engine purposes. Picnic, basket, and we're going to do outdoors. Okay, you get the idea. And then we're actually going to do the same thing with adding some alternative text here. I'm actually going to grab this as well. And again, this is for folks that are sight impaired. They can know at least what's in the image. And once again, it also helps the search engine. So we're going to do that. And there we go. Now, I promised you earlier that I would show you where to put the link to this. So that you do that right here where it says add destination link. So I'm going to go grab this gorgeous product, and we're going to actually put that bad boy right in here, paste, just like that. Now I'm going to publish this. And I'm going to publish this over at, I've got a site called Articles and Resources here. I'm going to publish it there. And let's see the pin. There it is. Now, what happens when I click it? Well, to me, magic happens. It takes folks exactly over to where we want them to be, right? So again, here's our image that we just created. Takes them directly over to where they can go buy, okay? They can buy whatever it is you're selling, right? Again, people pay, have built empires on the power and off the back of a click, right? All right. So here's what I just want you to understand, that you could do that for just about anything that you're sending traffic to. All right. And one of the other things I just wanted to point out, like I said, John and I are mostly email marketers. So we like the two-step plan. But I said, John, we need to be able to prove that you can make money without even having to set up a step in between. And he says, yeah, no problem. I've got a few of those cooking. And as you can see here, John makes anywhere between $700 and $800 a month. And he's not even trying to do it. We want to build a list and essentially market through email. But again, you could do this, and it's not just John that has done this. We've had thousands of students come through this program. Felicitas happens to be one of them. She says, I'm happy to report I've recovered more than I have paid for the Real Fast Pinterest course by being an affiliate. It's a set it and forget it kind of thing, really. And even Dennis Kashkin said some people earn up to $50,000 per month just from blogging and pinning. And to prove to you that you could sell just about anything by and through Pinterest, another one of our students, Tom Antion, who has a site called Protection Dogs, he sells a lot of protection dogs, and they're $20,000 a pop. He put up this really great image called 21 Reasons a Protection Dog is Better Than a Man, kind of a funny thing. And he's reported that he's had 2 sales of $20,000 dogs, so $40,000 in revenue from just one clip or one image like this, one pin like this. So my question for you is, are you excited that you have finally found a way to build your business all on autopilot? Let me hear from you in the chat. I've been kind of talking a blue streak here for a little while. Let me hear from you. Definitely, says Donna. Yes. All right, cool. Yes, very cool, says Derek. Awesome. Makes perfect sense, Laurel says. Awesome. Seems to be a good fit for me, says Nan. Yeah, it's a good fit for most marketers who want to create free targeted traffic. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to do is give you an opportunity to continue teaching and training with and coaching with John and I. We do that through our Real Fast Social Graphics program, which has been completely updated and is being updated even as we speak for 2021. So this is all brand new, cutting edge stuff. And here's the thing: it's a total system for Pinterest success. And what's really good about it is the system is specifically designed for people who are not graphic designers or marketers. Okay. And if you know how to make pretty graphics, so much the better. If you are a decent marketer, you're that much further ahead, but you don't need that in order to see results that you want to see using what we teach within Real Fast Social Graphics. That's because essentially what you're getting is a master in money making on Pinterest. And we do that through a variety of mechanisms. First, we show you how to build images that practically beg to be shared over and over again. And I'll remind you, every time your link gets shared, every time your image gets shared, so does the clickable link that goes with it. Okay. The other thing that we teach you how to do is repin for the win. I said most of the activity on Pinterest is in the repin. And here's the thing: strategies for repinning There's a few very, very strategic strategies that we teach within Real Fast Social Graphics on using existing images for maximum sharing and clicks. This is obviously a huge time saver, and because of that, money maker, because you're using what's already been created, but in a totally different way than 99% of the other folks on Pinterest. As a matter of fact, the only people probably that know how to do this are our students. So you're in very, very rare air, very rare company in that way. So you're gonna get that as well. Plus, we're gonna show you how to cash in on trends, because when you know where and when to look on Pinterest, it's possible to discern what is hot and trending in your niche. Okay, even before it's trending in the wider marketplace. So we show you how to use these trends to drive traffic to your buy buttons and to your offers. Okay. The other thing, and you've probably already figured this out, is that Pinterest and e-commerce are a marriage made in heaven. Okay. They just go hand in hand so perfectly. So if you have any kind of offer, if you're an Amazon seller, if you're an affiliate marketer, okay, if you have an Etsy, eBay, Shopify store, if you're an internet marketer, obviously it's great to get free targeted traffic. And that's another thing that we show you how to do on Pinterest. That that's a big part of what we show you how to do within Real Fast Social Graphics. Now, the other thing that you're getting here is we're going to show you how to create effective pins, even if you're tragically unartistic like John and I. I mean, I pretty much showed you that I'm not artistic really at all. But here's the cool thing, that we're going to actually show you how to use programs you probably already have on your machine, things like maybe PowerPoint or MS Word. And for that matter, we're also going to show you, if, like, let's say you hate Microsoft, right? You don't use any of their products. That's fine. We also show you how to use free things like Pablo, TypeSlab, and Canva. We just scratched the surface on what Canva can do. Okay, so you're going to get that as well. Now, the other really, really powerful thing is we're going to show you how to profit on just 5 minutes a day. Okay, I realize that you are a super busy person. So we show you how this is really the perfect way for the busy person to get the maximum benefit out of a minimum amount of time. So what I'm here to say is that many times, and I'll admit this to you, many times I've gone to places like Facebook to quote unquote, engage with influencers and build my business. And the only thing I ever accomplished there was reading a bunch of posts, watching videos, and liking a lot of other people's stuff. But I wasn't really building my business, just wasting time. Well, that is not what we teach you how to do on Pinterest. We show you how to get on, do what you need to do to get the results that you're after, and get the heck off and on with the rest of your day. So you're going to get that as well. Now, if you are an expert, if you are an author, if you are a blogger or a podcaster, or if you have a YouTube channel, okay, we're going to show you the secrets of building your author and expert status. Like the folks that you see here. I mean, you see paragons, folks like Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, my friend John Lee Dumas, all using Pinterest very effectively to continue to build their platforms. The other thing that I just want to point out here, if you just direct your attention to the top right-hand corner, if you are selling, things on Amazon, physical products. Joanna Basford, you know what her claim to fame is? You know what she does? She actually does and sells adult coloring books. Okay, adult coloring books. And I'm not talking about erotica or anything like that. I'm talking about the mandalas and stuff like that. So you could definitely do that. And by the way, if you are in fact a blogger or a podcaster or a YouTuber, I want to direct your attention to the Brown Sugar Food blog down there. Great way to generate massive traffic and subscribers to whatever your web property is. Okay, so you're going to get that as well. Now, the other thing I want to just teach you about here, and actually I'm going to bring John back on because I mentioned it a little bit earlier about group boards, and I wrote here group boards equals group love, and you'll see why here in just a second. But John, can you come back on and kind of teach people about what group boards are and why they're so important, and why we cover them so extensively within Real Fast Social Graphics?
Yes, Daniel. Group boards really are still a very valuable thing on Pinterest. I know some people are saying it's not important, but it really is still. They really can send traffic to your website, and they're a great way to get more attention from other people that may not follow you, but they follow other people. The neat thing that happens when you create your own group board, you actively start to be showcased in other people's Pinterest profiles. So it's a great way to start to get other people to notice you. And it's very simple to set up a group board. You just take one of the boards you've created and you start to invite what Pinterest calls collaborators. And that means that people will collaborate with you on that particular board. So I had a board called Blogging and Internet Marketing, and I decided to make it a group board. So I invited people like Joe Com and Mike Koenigs and Jason Fladian and Daniel Hall, and I now have about 90 people contributing to the board. And that means the board is active. It means that even when, I'm taking a day off, the board is still active, so people can still discover my pins as well within that group board. Um, the neat thing is I control the look and feel of that group board. So in my case, I showcase Pinterest is where viral book marketing lives. Um, and that's showcased not just when somebody joins a group board, that group board is added to their Pinterest profile so that when people come to their profile, they'll see my group board, and it'll showcase on Joe Com, Mike Koenig, Jason Fladian, and the other 90 people that are part of my group and are collaborators with me. So it's a really neat thing to create at least one group board where you invite other people, influencers, and other people in your topic area to contribute content to one of your boards. The other thing we show you in the course is actually how to find the group boards to join, and how, most importantly, how to get invited to those group boards. Some of the group boards have 100,000 people following them or more. And, most of my groups have at least 10 to 12,000 people following them. So it's a really magical way to get more and more people to be paying attention to you. And group boards are one of the best ways for people who are new to Pinterest to start to get noticed by other people.
Yeah, and the main thing that I really want folks to understand here is that being like, let's say that you find a group board in your niche that has 50,000 people. These are 50,000 people that are following that particular board, which means 50,000 people have raised their hand and said, I'm interested in your topic. I'm passionate about your topic. Otherwise, I wouldn't have followed the board in the first instance. But the key is figuring out who owns that group board and then asking for and getting an invite to actually pin to that particular board, right? So the main thing that we try to do is we show you how to do that, how to actually connect with that person, how to actually ask for the invite and actually get the invite, so that you can plug into that board of 50,000 people in your niche or whatever the case may be. So you're going to get that as well within Real Fast Social Graphics. Now, the other thing that's really, really hot on Pinterest is video. So this is another example of a video that John posted that's actually gotten over 1 million views. The first time John looked at this, as you can see here, he had over 1 million views, and then like a month went by, and it was up to 100 or 1,300,000 views. So again, we're going to show you how to use video on Pinterest so that you can get these kind of views. And here's the rub. Here's what's really cool. You don't even have to make the videos, okay, in order to get that kind of traffic and eyeballs. So we're going to show you that as well. Now, I got to tell you, I'm very, very proud and excited about this part of the program, because we're actually going to show you how to piggyback traffic on daily television shows like Dr. Oz, The View, and others. So John and I, as part of our business, tend to help all authors, but we have some very high-profile authors, some of which have appeared on national shows. So we would do pins for them, and oftentimes we would notice that if somebody was appearing on one of these shows, say Dr. Oz, that often we would see a spike in the number of repins and traffic to our site immediately around that time of the show being aired. So this happened a couple times with a couple different authors. And then it finally dawned on us. We're like, I wonder if we could reverse engineer this so that the person that was on the show, or the person that was promoting something, did not have to be on the show. In other words, you don't have to go on Ellen to get that kind of buzz going about your pin. So sure enough, we were able to reverse engineer it such that you could actually generate traffic, and it's pretty predictable. It's not every time, but it's relatively predictable from Jimmy Kimmel, or somebody appearing on Jimmy Kimmel that you do a pin about. Now, here's the other interesting thing, that we show you, number one, who is going to be on these shows before it airs so that you can be ready. Okay. We show you how to pick that person. And then we show you how to segue, build a bridge from whatever that person that's going to be on, Colbert Report, I guess he's gone, but it's on one of these shows, back over to your site. Okay. So I got to tell you, we could have built the entire program on just this one thing, but you get this and so much more. The other thing that you get is our personal help. We do that through a members only private Facebook group that you get lifetime access to. I've been talking to John about essentially adding a fee for this, because it's grown to over, I think we have 1,600 members or 1,800 members, something like that, right now in the group. And if we do add a $97 a month fee, you will be grandfathered. Okay. It will not apply to you if we do that. But essentially this is like getting $1,200 in basically free coaching each and every year. Okay. That you're going to get as a part of this. And the other thing, I realize you want to hit the ground running. So the other thing we're going to do for you is we're going to give you 5 done for you Canva Pinterest templates. So literally 20 minutes from right now, you could have your first pins up and sending traffic to your site. Okay. So you're going to get that as well. Now, here's the other thing. If you don't know what a cinematograph is, come check out your computer monitor right now, because this is a cinematograph that you're looking at. And obviously they can attract a lot of attention, right? So I said to John, wouldn't it be cool if we could teach people how to create cinemagraphs like this so that they could use those on Pinterest as well? And sure enough, I was able to get a whole other freestanding course. I got the rights to use for making these for free, okay, using just PowerPoint or Keynote, or even Google Slides will work with this, okay? So you're going to get that as well. Now, we've had literally, as I say, thousands of people come through Real Fast Social Graphics. Judith happens to be another one of them. She says, I've just discovered that traffic to my Proofread NZ website has, as of the 30th of November, tripled from a very consistent 8-year performance level. So let me just kind of pick that apart a little bit. She's been bebopping along for 8 years. 8 years. She does what we tell her to do, and she triples her traffic to her website. Okay. So yes, it can happen just like that. And here's one of the reasons why, because Pinterest, when you know what you're doing with your content, with your pins, it is likely, okay, not promised, but is likely that they will actually email market for you as well, which is what's happening here. This is actually a email that got sent to John. This is a screen cap of that. And I just want to direct your attention down there to where it says words and 26 pins. This is actually one of our students, okay, that got promoted. So the other cool thing about this is that not only is Pinterest potentially helping you on the platform itself, but it's also introducing you to people that might never know you or find you, but for an email that goes out featuring your boards, your pins, your profile, okay? So you're going to get how to do that as well. Plus, we have other bonuses for you, like Facebook marketing for authors and experts to get more fans, the Twitter Mania manual, to the secret to building an incredibly fanatical following on Twitter, and how to use LinkedIn to promote yourself as an author or expert, find promotional partners, and build long-lasting and useful relationships. Taken together, this is a social marketing suite for folks just like you and I. Authors, internet marketers, affiliate marketers, information product creators, and experts of every kind. Now, I know you're wondering, dang, how much is this? Well, we're going to get into that in just a second. I do want to just make sure that you understand that you get this really cool bonus as well. Now, we recently added this as a bonus, and this is huge, y'all, just really big, because we're going to actually have John Kremer personally launch you on Pinterest. What does that mean? Essentially, this means John is going to be designing a pin for you, okay? Then he is going to pin it up to his audience with up to 2.6 million people. Like you can see here, he's had over 2 million views. Plus, okay, not only is John going to be working for you, okay, creating a pin for you and pinning it up to his audience, but when you find your legs and when you get better at creating a pin, you're going to create a pin, submit it to John, and he's going to do that with your pin as well. Okay. Now, the best part is, as we've repeatedly demonstrated here today, pins, particularly John's pins, can generate traffic and followers and repins for years to come. Okay. So yes, John Kremer is going to work for you. So what's the deal? The sale, when we put this on sale, it is $997, but that is not your investment. Okay, not your investment. As a matter of fact, when you go to this link, that link is in your chat. You're going to see a whopping big discount. So somebody click on that link. It's in the chat right now. And let me know in the chat whether it is working, whether you see the page there. You see that working? So I will just say that if you know that you want the very best available price, then you're looking at it right there, right now. Okay. So, and if you want the very best available price, I would go ahead and grab it right now, and make that work. Okay. So let's see. Nan says, no, it is not working. Okay. So we will check that out. Laurel says it is working. Okay, great. It works just fine. Awesome. So I'm not sure what the problem is there, Laurel. Looks like it's working for other folks. In any event, what I just want to do is kind of put this in perspective, because as you can see at that link, the investment in real fast social graphics is really low. And to kind of put that value in perspective, John is getting approximately 4,000 free clicks a week. Okay. And let's say that you are going to pay 25 cents a click, which would be a great deal, by the way, especially for targeted traffic. All right. That's essentially like getting $1,000 in free traffic each and every week. And the best part is the traffic just keeps coming. I mean, you can't even turn it off. I guess you can take down the page that you're sending it to, but that's about the only way to do it. So the thing I want you to understand is that we're going to continue to deliver for you. You know, John has been in business for over 30 years. I've been in business now for over 10 years. And one of the reasons why we love working with this group of people is that we all understand that our success is directly related to yours. That's why we have had such staying power and why you will not be alone in your journey to a more profitable business. Also want to just highlight a few other of our students here. Keith Wilhelm says, thanks for the the Pinterest info, John. It's starting to work great. The pin below has appeared over 1,330 times on Pinterest plus activity to my website. The other thing I wanted you to understand is that you're also, get this. I know some of you are saying, well, Daniel, John, you are these, gurus. Of course, people are following you. Of course, you have an audience. What about me? No one knows who I am. And why would people, come to me? I don't have an audience. Well, here's the thing. First off, what I want you to understand is when you do what we tell you to do within Real Fast Social Graphics, people come to you, you attract an audience because and by virtue of the quality of content you're putting out, number one. And then number two, we even give you a further leg up by inviting you to join. We have 4 group boards. Remember, we talked about group boards just a second ago. We have 4 group boards. One's called Tips, Tips, Tips. Another one's called Great Gift Ideas for Men. Another is called Great Gift Ideas for Women. And a fourth is called Motivational and Inspirational Quotes. And you, as a member, can join one or all of those. And here's the rub. Here's what I want you to understand. They all have at least 10,000 followers. Okay. So you get an instant audience on top of John promoting you. Okay. So you're going to get that as well. Now, I just wanted to highlight some of John's accomplishments. Perhaps you know who Deepak Chopra is. Basically, John took Deepak from a Vanity Press author to being on the New York Times bestseller list more than 8 times. And another New York Times bestseller, Joel Comm, says Kremer is the go-to guy for marketing books, of course. But then he goes on to say, not only are Kremer's tips and resources excellent for promoting books, but you could use many of the techniques and strategies for promoting a variety of other goods and services. Highly recommended. Okay. And I know another thing, you're all asking, well, how quickly can I see results? Well, I wanted to just highlight Rhonda, yet another one of our students. Rhonda says, results update yesterday, July 2nd. Keep in mind, she's posting this on July 3rd. I enrolled in the course, watched the videos, and started implementing. The doing part was like late in the afternoon. I had no Pinterest traffic for the last month. No surprises I hadn't used as a source, but drum roll, please. 23.5% of my traffic yesterday came from Pinterest. Again, let's sort of pick this apart, okay? Deconstruct it a little bit. She's saying that she didn't get started until late in the afternoon, probably didn't get her first pin up until early that evening. And yet, within a span of 24 hours, she increases traffic to her website by 23.5%, almost 25%. So yes, this can happen very, very quickly. The other thing I just wanted to point out to you is that we have a very international audience here. And I know some folks say, well, this works for you all. You're in North America. Of course it works for you. But what about me? I'm here, I'm there, I'm some other place in the world. Well, I just wanted to show you that I actually took the last 250 students that signed up for this class and knew their APIs, uploaded it, and makes this map. And as you can see, yes, we have lots of people in North America, but also Central America, South America, Europe, the Middle East, the Far East, and all places in between. So, and just to highlight that point, I wanted to just show yet another one of our students here. Let me see if I can bring it up. And all righty. Well, I'm going to bring that up a little later. So here's the deal. The cool thing here is that we're going to actually start to get into questions in just a second. So get your questions into the chat, please. And one other thing before we actually get into there, actually 2 other things I want to mention. First off, you should see right now where it says coach, consultant, and agency. Yes. Well, Echo Studio, basically what you're going to learn in Real Fast Social Graphics, you could sell, you could turn around and resell. Remember, we teach you how to do this in 5 minutes a day, right? So there are, if you are a coach, a consultant, or an agency, you could add this to your line items, your menu of services, and not spend very much time, and yet make $400 to $700 per month doing this type of service for other people. Okay, so that's another way you can go with this if you wanted. So one last thing before we get into it here, is of all the things that we have to do in our business, okay, the other thing that you need to understand is that Pinterest is in fact fun. Okay, it's just loads and loads of fun. And as you probably already figured out in your business, that there's a lot of things that we have to do to kind of stay afloat and to thrive that aren't so fun. They're kind of drudgery. They're boring. You don't like doing it. That is not the case with Pinterest. So we're going to get into some questions right now. We're going to head on over to the chat area. And while we do that, John, if you want to start answering questions there, that would be awesome. Because I want to actually have a video here that I want to play for you. If I could find it, bring it up.
Okay. We've been getting a lot of questions, and I've answered a lot of them. One person just recently asked, are most Pinterest users in the United States? And the reality is 30 to 40% are in the US, but the other, it's a worldwide phenomenon. There are people from every country you can possibly think of. And, 60 to 70% of Pinterest users are actually outside the United States. The neat thing is, regardless of what country you're in, there are 400 million active monthly users now on Pinterest. So there's a lot of possibility for traffic, no matter where you are in the world.
Awesome, John.
Somebody asked, how are you tracking traffic to specific links in an e-commerce store? I actually track based on who's coming to my website, because I have tracking software on my website, both Google Analytics and WordPress Analytics, to judge the traffic coming into my website. And then I have my own e-commerce store, so I can track who's buying simply because it's coming through my store, and I can judge the traffic right away.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Awesome. And hopefully that answers the question. And I was able to find this this video. I'm going to share this video with you. And this kind of goes to the question of will it work internationally? Well, here's a perfect example. Let me just go ahead and play this. Hopefully you could see this, John. Let me know.
Yes, I can see it.
Great. Let's play it.
Hey, Dan. Hey, John. It's Paul Murphy. I just want to give you guys an update. After the incredible training that you did the other week, I was putting up some pins, and I actually had about 300 monthly views. And I've only put up a couple of pins, but this has now jumped up to 108.5 thousand monthly views. And I just want to show you this one pin that I put in. This is one I created straight after the training that you guys did. You can actually see here, let me just open this up a bit. You can actually see this pin here has had 28,000 views, 156 clicks. And this goes to my webinar, and this is actually making me money. I've actually got some sales off of this. And this one here, again, I created this. This one took me about half an hour. This one took me about half an hour. This one's had 7,100. This was actually created by a friend of mine, which hasn't done it as great, but still had 191 and five clicks, which is great. This one I did when I was just sort of playing around. So as you can see, this is all I've done really. This one here was just a link to my YouTube channel. So, this is actually doing incredibly well. And when I get like a couple of minutes, I can kind of knock one of these up fairly easily. And the penny sort of dropped during your training when I realized that most of my pins were a bit more like ads. And actually these ones are just the thumbnails I used for YouTube videos. And they weren't really getting that many views. And when I kind of realized why people are using Pinterest and what they're using it for, that was kind of when the penny dropped. And now we're starting to get amazing results thanks to your amazing training. So keep up the good work, guys. And thanks ever so much.
Cool. So the couple of things I just want you to note about that. The first thing is that that Paul is actually in the UK. So and the other thing is that he has basically just in a very, very short period of time, like a matter of like a week, sending traffic directly to one of his webinar pages. And as you just heard him say, he's not he's making money, he's making sales, and I think that's a pretty high ticket offer that he's sending traffic to. So yes, it does work internationally. That's the other thing I just wanted folks to see there. Okay. All right. So let's see other questions that we have here.
One person asked about business accounts, and I actually encourage everyone to create a business account, take their personal account and make it a business account. It gives you more statistics. It gives you more information and analytics so you can see what's working and what's not working. And it doesn't cost anything. So it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't change anything about your profile, your capabilities, your personal pins. It just simply gives you more power, and it's free.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Let's see. Marilyn's saying business account. There are two accounts. There's a personal account and there's a business account, and you only need one account, and it's a relatively simple process. We show you how to do it to change your account from personal to business. And the reason why you want the business account, once again, is that you get more analytics, you get more data from a business account. Okay, Marilyn? Yeah. The place to go.
And you can also advertise, and that's important.
Although we don't advertise, actually.
No, but you can.
You can. We don't need to. Why pay for it if you're getting it for free, right?
Right, and that's what I say, that the organic traffic is driving incredible amount of traffic to my different websites and sales and so on. Now, Joy asked a question about, I have someone that has an Amazon business and a coaching business. Would they create two separate business accounts? And you can do that, but you don't have to, because Pinterest is actually driven by the boards that you create. And I have separate boards for all my different target audiences, and I have multiple target audiences. And I just target them through the boards that I create. And that makes it so much simpler than having to have multiple accounts and then logging in and logging out and doing all of that. And why not have all the traffic? Because you never know. When you have an account like I have, and my main business is book marketing, but I'm also doing some sales now on fitness and health. And the neat thing is that people that are interested in fitness and health are probably also interested in publishing a book. And people publishing a book and writing a book are always interested in fitness and health. So why separate them out into two accounts when I can drive them to the same account and they can discover all kinds of possibilities rather than just one?
Awesome. And I want to start. I'm going to start welcoming people into the fold. We've had a rush of people. By the way, that link, I'll just reiterate that I cannot guarantee that the deal that you see there now will be the same later. So if you know that you want this, deal, go ahead and grab it right now. Of course, we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no issues with that. If you get in this program is not for you, but again, this is a really, really powerful way to set traffic in motion to your site. That, I love the idea and the practice of being able to do something once and benefiting from that something over and over and over and over again, which is essentially what Pinterest marketing allows you to do. And that's very rare in the marketing world, where you could put up one pin, and that like what's happened with us, that one pin, 2 pins, 3 pins become, these real superstars, and continues to drive traffic. And this has happened to us and to our students many times, just again doing what we teach you how to do. So place to go, realfastnow.com. The link is in your chat right now. Okay, cool. Grex is saying, thank you for stating the 30-day money back guarantee. Now I'm going to go get it. Okay. You are very welcome on that. Okay. I'm sold on this, which is not my typical response. Okay. Yeah, I think you're going to look. Here's the thing. John and I have been using Pinterest for, 7 years now? Almost since the start of Pinterest. And the thing is that because of that, we have, we've basically been on the cutting edge of what works on Pinterest and what doesn't. And one of the great things is, that once you take the action once, again, you can continually build traffic from that, and again, get more leads, get more potentially sales, and do so on autopilot. That's the other thing I love about this, is that you could take a week off of your Pinterest marketing and still benefit from the stuff that you did previously. So that's a very, very cool thing about it. Okay. Grex is saying the peer-to-peer factor is huge. That's right. I agree with you on that. And let's see here.
One of the things somebody asked, does the course talk about turning a Pinterest personal account into a business account? And it's really easy, but I'll create a video on it for the course so that you can see that. It's really a simple process, but I understand a video will help you walk you through it. And the neat thing about this course is, we're actually updating the entire course over the next few weeks. And I've already created 13 new videos for the course, replacing some old, slightly outdated information on it. So we want to update the entire course to make it really valuable for you, because the one thing that recently changed was Pinterest's recommendation on the size of graphics on Pinterest. And so we're updating the course to incorporate that, as well as some other changes and some things that we've learned that make Pinterest more powerful for you.
Awesome. Let's see. I'm just kind of going through the messages here. We got more folks to welcome to the fold. So welcome to, let's see, Grex, welcome to you. And Terry, welcome to you. Really appreciate you being here. And by the way, great question here from Mary Murr. Does the course explain how to do a story pin?
It doesn't yet, but it will.
Yep.
That's a relatively new feature of Pinterest. Mm-hmm. And I haven't used it yet because I actually find that doing specific pins works actually a lot better. But I will do a video on how to do a story pin and why you might want to use a story pin. There are reasons why you might.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, William wants to know, can you re-summarize the bonuses? Yes, I can. Let's kind of go back through them here really quick. First off, you're going to get, let's see, you're going to basically be able to join our Pinterest boards, our group boards, and there's 4 of them, and there's at least 10,000 per board. So you can join all or just one of them or none of them. So you're going to get that. And let's see, the other thing you're going to get, of course, and the big thing, by the way, I should make a bigger deal about this, because this is quite a deal. You're getting John Kremer, who, like I said, gets hired by some best-selling authors, and I'm talking about, name marquee authors, to do this kind of work. And you're going to get him working for you. Okay. So
Daniel, one thing on that offer is that I don't just design the pin for you. I actually pin it to my audience, and I also share it on other social networks. So you get multiple exposure.
That plus the fact that not only is the one that John's going to create for you, but when you get up and making good quality pins, he's going to do it a second time. Okay. So, and, John is, again, up to 2.6 million monthly views. He's got quite an audience. You definitely want to be launched by John. So you're going to get that. Plus you're going to get the LinkedIn bonus, promote yourself as an author expert, find promotional partners to build long-lasting and useful relationships. The Twitter Mania manual. You're going to get the Facebook marketing for authors and experts. Plus, you're going to get the Cinemagraph course on how to create cinemagraphs. As you can see, they're really kind of cool, very cool looking. You're going to get the 5 done-for-you Canva Pinterest templates that you see here, plus specific Canva training. Okay. And I think you're going to get access to our members only Facebook group. Okay. Where John is, he's in there almost every day. And in fact, what I will just tell you is that the best way to reach out and connect with John is to, once you become a member, is to make sure that you, you tag him in your post. And of course, you're going to get my help as well. And I think those are the bonuses. Okay. So hopefully, William, that explains what our bonuses are. And
Daniel, can you show them the membership site?
At this point, let's see. No, I can't. I'm afraid because of how we're flipping around these buttons.
Okay. So, there's a lot of content in the course, and again, we are responsive. If there's something you need help with that you don't understand, again, ask it in the Facebook group. And I've created videos, multiple videos, because somebody asked a question and wanted more information. For example, there are 2 lessons that I created in the course just for novelists, so that they can learn how to promote novels. I also did a bonus on food, and anybody who has a food product or service, and how you can promote that on Pinterest. People love food on Pinterest. So, having that opportunity is really important. Now, the important thing, the question people is, how much time is this going to take, and so on. And quite honestly, I recommend you pin 1 or 2 what I call money pins a week. You don't have to do more than that, because again, remember, these pins are going to have long lives, and they will send traffic for you for a long time. So you don't have to be like on Twitter, where you have to tweet every 2 hours or something like that, or nobody notices you and things like that. On Pinterest, you pin 1 or 2 money pins. This means pins that are driving traffic to your money websites or your affiliate offers. And that's enough, 2 a week. Then you can repin other pins that you're interested in, things that you discover on Pinterest and so on. So you can be a real person on Pinterest, but you don't have to be there long. I don't spend more than 5 minutes a day on Pinterest, and sometimes less than that. And I'm still getting an incredible amount of traffic from Pinterest to all of my money websites. So it's not a lot of work. It's actually more fun. I love discovering new pins on Pinterest that I can maybe adapt and then put up on my website and then pin it. And, like that one video that I got 1.3 million views from and lots of traffic, I actually discovered that on Pinterest. And I bet I've gotten more traffic than the original pinner, um, because I have the audience, of people that are interested in fitness. Because I pinned it to my website, my fitness website, and then from there, pinned it, to Pinterest, and all the traffic comes in. So you don't have to necessarily have a lot on your own. You can just have a few people that love you, and they repin it, and suddenly all kinds of people are discovering like that video, and I got 1.3 million views from it. One person, Nan, has asked, have you launched, oh no, Greg, first of all, have you launched any music on Pinterest? I have not yet, but it would work well, because again, videos or audio would work well in pinning them. Actually, you can't pin audio by itself. You have to pin it as a video or link to your podcast site or something like that. Nan asked, do you need a website for this? She says she hasn't had any luck with it. I like having a website because I can control it. If I send them to Etsy, I can't control the page as well. But if you can adjust the product pages so you actually can pin, you can add your typographics or quote graphics to your Etsy page. Then when somebody, and you pin it from that Etsy page, then when people come to your Etsy page, they will find out that, oh, this is the right site I'm on because I see the graphic I just clicked on to come to the website. If you can't control your Etsy page that way, then it doesn't work as well. But as long as you can have the graphic that people click on in Pinterest to come to your specific page, you'll be okay just using Etsy. But I always like to do the two-step with the website because I can capture people's emails and before I send them on to Etsy, and that means I own a customer.
Absolutely. So John, do you see the members area? I was able to pull it up while you were talking.
Yes.
There. So you see, so here is the members area. First thing, for all those folks that have joined already, I do have your very first bit of homework. And that is to come over here to click to request to join the Facebook group. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. That's on the very home page here. And then you're going to come over to the Facebook group. And as you can see, we have about 1,800 members, and you're going to go ahead and join from there. Okay, from here. Then, as you can see, it's super easy to navigate. All of the videos are just right across the top in the top navigation here. And the other thing that you should see is that there is usually we have a PDF. So that's the other cool thing that you should know, that there are both PDFs and videos that accompany the PDF. So you could, depending on your preferred learning modality, you can pin and you could view the video, or you could read and view again. So you could flip back and forth between those two, no problem at all. And then the other thing that we try to do is, if you're a psychomotor learner like myself, a kinesthetic type of a learner, you could do that. You can learn, you could watch, you could read, then you can manipulate. You could actually do what we're teaching you to do in this particular lesson. Okay, so you're going to get that as well. And then you could just see there's monetizing Pinterest, building your followers on Pinterest, how to create pins, how to use Pinterest. Then we have other training sessions, and here's some more bonuses that we have built in. We've got the 5 Canva templates that we were just talking to you about. We got the copycat. Oh, we didn't even talk about the copycat Canva covers. What this is a Canva template. So if you are an author, I actually have designed copycat covers of New York Times bestselling books, so that there's similar design elements to them that you could then use in your own books, etc. Okay, so you're going to get that as well. Plus, here's Facebook marketing. You get also got the Pinterest software extensions, Pinterest updates, and general documents. You're going to do that. Oh, excuse me, that's under bonuses here. Nope, there we go. 13 ways to create better pins. So you're going to get basically this is the new and improved members area, and as John says, more is going into this pretty much daily as well. So you're going to get that too. The place to go, by the way, hopefully you see it here. I want to also lots of new folks have joined us, and I want to welcome you to the fold here. Specifically, let's see, I missed somebody here. There's so many folks jumping in. Oh, where did that person go? Can't find their name. Well, here it is. Salote, I want to welcome you, Salote. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Welcome to the fold. And we also have Jim. Welcome to you, Jim. I appreciate you being here. And let's see, other folks jumping in now. And let's see, we have other questions. Let's see. All right.
Somebody asked about capturing emails and whether or not we have any training on our website for that. Our course isn't really about capturing emails. All you really have to do is have an email service like Aweber or MailChimp or something like that. Or the email service I actually like using now is Substack.com.
Interesting.
And it's actually free. So, and you can convert people to free emails or paid emails where they actually pay you to do a newsletter. So it's kind of a neat combination, and it's real easy to use. So, and again, Frank says, do you offer help in setting up a website? No, that's not part of our course. But again, use medium.com or substack.com to set up essentially what is a website.
Yep.
And they're both free.
Absolutely. Okay, so are you seeing any additional questions here, John?
We had some, and I've been answering them all along. So I think that, I think we've answered most of the questions. But if anybody has one, they can still ask. And I'd be happy to answer those questions. And again, maybe I'll do a video on how to hook up with Substack for a website or email service. I think it'd be a good video to do, and it would give people answer those two questions people have asked. So I'll do that.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. It's Medium, Frank, medium.com. Medium.
medium.com.
Yeah.
Patrick wants to know what the course will give you that I cannot do on my own. I think
you're going to do it all on your own, actually.
You're going to do the things that we teach you, but what we teach you, you probably would not learn on your own. Really learning how to effectively use typographics and quote graphics to drive traffic is something that we teach you in the course in detail. Things of how to use photos to drive traffic and how to use videos to drive traffic. You may not learn that on your own. So what you're getting from us more than anything else is my 7 years of experience on Pinterest with driving tons of traffic to my money websites. And that's the main thing that you're going to learn.
The main thing to understand is you could figure out all of this stuff by yourself. I mean, you could figure out brain surgery and rocket science given enough time. Okay. But that's just it. How much time do you want to spend teaching this yourself, learning what works and what doesn't, doing trial and error along the way? If you have that kind of time, great. You're welcome to do it without our help. If, however, you want to basically hit the ground running, you want to really flatten that learning curve and know what actually works from the get-go, then that's what you get here. Okay.
And the reality is, I taught this course because I learned things that I hadn't seen anybody else teaching. And I've actually seen other Pinterest courses where they're teaching really bad information, and I'm going, where did they think that worked? So I'm doing things, I'm teaching you things in this course that actually work, that have been proven to work. We showed you a few pins that I did 5 years ago that have driven traffic all during those 5 years. But I could have shown you hundreds of pins that have driven anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 traffic to my website. And that's traffic to my website. That's not repins. That's actual traffic coming to my website. So I've spent a lot of time learning and testing to see what drives the best traffic. And I can tell you that the typographics and the quote graphics are the magic in terms of driving traffic. I've tried other kinds of pins and they don't really work that well.
And William asked a great question. Can you add your own link to a repin? Yes, in very specific circumstances that we actually teach you to follow in Real Fast Social Graphics. If you don't know how to do it, no, you can't do it. If you do know how to do it, not only will you learn how to do it, but it's the practice that we teach is actually condoned and encouraged by Pinterest itself. So you're going to learn that little nuance, and that's not a little one. That's a big one, because you can actually absolutely do that. Okay. All right. Let's see.
And I forgot to say that video pins are also very powerful, and we're going to be teaching you more on that, both what kind of pins you can create, video pins. The neat thing with Pinterest now, they only used to support YouTube video sizes and so on, but now they do square and they do tall. Mm-hmm. It's really been fun to do those kinds of pins because I think they're actually more interesting, and they're like they sort of stop people in their tracks because they're used to seeing video pins, the short squat ones, but doing a taller, thinner pin is magical on Pinterest right now.
Awesome. Greg says you can count me in. Thank you so much, Greg. So I appreciate that. I see your note. And that is fine. And I'm not seeing any other additional questions. So we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now that if you've kind of been waiting for me to say kind of last chance, this would be your last chance. And if you have any final questions, then please get them into the chat now, or once you join Real Fast Now, make sure you ask them into the Facebook group, because we're there hanging out there. Mm-hmm.
Once you see the magic of the traffic that you can get from Pinterest and how it increases sales, just like the video that Paul shared with us, it can be magical. You will really actually enjoy Pinterest. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of time. I spend 5 minutes a day, maybe. I pin maybe 5 or 10 pins a week at most. And that still drives incredible amount of traffic. And that's really the magic of what you're going to discover through this course, is how to drive that kind of traffic, how to create the right kinds of pins that will drive that kind of traffic.
Exactly. And Frank is asking, is there any discount or scholarship? Actually, that has already been applied. That's one of the reasons why I say I cannot guarantee that the price will be the same after the presentation. So that, because it's usually $997. Okay, yeah, the current price, as Anthony wrote you there, is already discounted. That is it. Okay, and let's see. Do you have a link? Do you have to link to one of your money sites? No, you can. That's a great question, Dave. That's the beauty of this. You could link anywhere you want within reason. You're definitely can link to a podcast site. You can link directly to your YouTube channel if that's where you want to send folks. You can link somebody directly to your Medium page if that's where you want to send them, or your blog. So you could send them essentially anywhere you want to send them. Okay. So great question there from Dave.
Yeah, I actually have a site on Medium, as well as my own personally controlled websites. And I send traffic to Medium all the time. I could send it to Substack. I could send it wherever I want. And that's really, again, the power of Pinterest. And the neat thing is that Pinterest actually loves to send traffic away from itself. Try that with Facebook. The only way Facebook will really send much traffic to you is if you pay for the ads. And Twitter, well, gosh, I don't really get much traffic from Twitter, even though I do tweet. But Pinterest, boy, it sends traffic. So, and it's fun.
I'm sorry, Dave. Dave asked, no, do you have a link to one of John Kremer's money sites we could look at? Yeah, bestseller, what is it?
Bookmarketingbestsellers.com.
Yeah, bookmarketingbestsellers.com. There, I'll actually try to bring it up here. Book marketing.
And I put a link there just so people could see it.
Bestsellers.
That's my major money site, because I started off as a book marketer, but now because of Pinterest, I actually became a fitness expert. I created that pin about oh gosh, the guy, I'm going blank on his name, that used to be on the NBC show, the
Biggest Loser.
The Biggest Loser. I pinned that, and I got 20,000 people following me who just followed me from my fitness board. And I became basically a fitness expert as I shared more and more fitness advice that I discovered online. And so that's why I created another website called celebrityweightloss.tips.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't finished any of my fitness books yet, but I've got 2 or 3 in the works. And one or more of those are going to go up soon. And I expect to make a lot of money on those books. Oh, look at that pretty picture of me there.
It is. It's gorgeous. You're such a handsome fella.
Daniel took that of me.
Yeah, I think I did. I think we were speaking at an event, right, John? As I recall.
Yes.
Yeah. At any rate, so here's
Bob
again.
Harper.
Yeah. This is the cool thing, right? There's a place to get on the email list. There's a place to go buy John's book. There are lots and lots of ways to, like, essentially buy his stuff, ebooks and courses, and hire him as a consultant and all that.
And because it's a WordPress site, that sidebar shows up on every page. So on every page, people can sign up for my newsletter. And, that's really a powerful thing, and why I like WordPress, because it's really a powerful platform. If you know how to use it. If you don't, then it gets harder. But and I actually have worked with clients, helping them improve their WordPress websites to get more signups, more traffic, and so on.
So there you go. Yep. All right. So yeah, so I want to welcome. Oh, Grex says he is in. He's registered. Great. All right. Yeah. Okay. So just let us know, Grex, when you go to join on the Facebook page, that it's you. Put that. Make sure that you put that into the little note that pops up when you join, because we do check everyone that comes into all the new members into the Facebook group, so we don't just let everyone in. Yeah, so that's the way we handle that. So thanks for letting me know about that. All right, any other questions that we see here?
I don't seem to see any right now. Again, if you have a last minute question, ask it now. We're happy to answer.
There's somebody earlier, I missed it. Oh yeah, Marv was asking, any installments payment plan? No, we don't have an installment payment plan. However, if you use the PayPal option, I generally it gives you that option to, I think it's 90 days, same as cash, but we don't offer that. PayPal does that, right? Does that make sense? Okay. So to get into the Facebook group, Frank, first you join, and then it'll bring you to the into the members area that looks like this, and you'll see here at the home page, you're going to click to request access to join Facebook group right there, and it will take you over to the Facebook group. Okay, then you just join right there. But again, you have to be a member first to do that. Okay.
Greg actually said that on PayPal he found that there was two offers. One was for 6 months interest-free if paid in full by 6 months.
There you go.
You can do the 6 months through PayPal.
Yep, and with no interest paid. Okay, so I'm not seeing any additional questions here. So I want to once again thank you all so much for taking the time to really learn this and do a deep dive with us. I certainly hope that you got value from today's presentation. And if you want to join us and you want to get the very, very best deal, I'll just say the place and the time to do that is right now. And also, you know, use what you learned here today to actually apply it to your business, because this stuff it actually works. You know, it actually makes it makes it work. So thank you so much, John. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And I'll send it over
I
to
forgot it was Jason that invited people, and you saw he's in my Pinterest group for internet marketing and blogging tips. And I showcased him that I didn't realize, I forgot that he's the one that was invited people here.
Yep.
So thank you, Jason, and thank you, Heather and Sabrina and Burl, for helping us with this webinar, and Kezia, I'm not sure. But thank you anyway for inviting us. It's been fun. And I guarantee you that once you get on Pinterest and you start to see how it drives traffic for you, you're going to really love Pinterest, because it is fun to use, and it's so easy to use. And it's just a matter of knowing what kind of pins to pin and how to create them. And we'll teach you how to do that.
Awesome. We'll see you in the members area. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.